Yeah. Yeah, this is a beauty. Oh, hey. How you doing, fellas? It's your boy Meta, coming to you from the Metaverse, wrestling representing SPW, Singapore Pro Wrestling, and you're watching Wrestle Geeks.
Welcome everybody to Wrestle Geeks recaps. This is good for New Japan Strong. And first I want to start by apologizing for the AEW Dynamite episode from from Wednesday not going up. We had issues with the footage as it was being recorded. Tried all kinds of things to recover it and get it back, but sometimes these things happen. So hopefully things like this can be avoided in the future. And AEW will be out next week as regular. But I'm your host, the Geek, Trevor Firth, and I'm being joined by, from Team Tiger Driver Radio, I have with me first, Juicy J.
What's up, everyone? It's Juicy J.
And L Blue.
How's it going, everyone? Howdy. That's still my thing. Still running with it 1 week later.
Stop doing
I heard that on Tiger Driver this week. I was like, guys, keep it going.
I'm surprised Juicy J does not like the howdy. He doesn't like my cowboy gimmick.
Stop.
You need to say it like the shark does from Toy Story when he steals Woody's hat. He's just, howdy, 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 howdy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Sorry, my kids love Toy Story.
I know exactly what you mean, though.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How's it going, guys?
Great week of wrestling.
Yeah.
Can't ever complain, man.
Yeah.
So many amazing things are happening right now. It's fun. And local shows. I had a local show recently.
Oh,
So
yeah. Tell us about that. How'd it go?
It was really, really fun. There wasn't like any major storylines or anything like that going into the night, or like the night was it was the first show in a year. You know what I mean? Like, it was just about having fun.
Yeah.
Everybody just went out, had a bunch of like, everybody just went out and just went all out on every match.
Yeah. How did Mrs. The Geek like it?
Oh man, she got to ref 3 matches. She was very happy. She got to ref the first triple threat, and she did really great. So
Awesome.
they're really happy with her.
That's a challenge in itself.
Yeah. But guys, we have the last round of the qualifiers for New Japan Strong that happened last week.
Uh-huh.
And then we can finally start off this actual tournament.
Yeah, finally. That was long.
It felt like it. Like only
That's
2 matches for qualifier. Like, man, that took a while.
Let's be honest. This is the second round of the tournament. This wasn't an 8-man. This was a 16-man, like you said last week, Trevor. But
yeah, that's what it felt like. But we open up with a funny little promo from Team Filthy, and man, I love Danny Lamlight. This guy's really like, he's just got it. He's really funny. And then you have Tom Lawler just being Tom Lawler with that giant ass mace, and I don't really understand why he has it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, use it. Go ahead.
just accept it as a fact.
Yes.
Yes.
It's too badass not to.
I don't even know what that thing he does when he gets in the ring that he swings it around. What does that mean? Does it mean something or no?
Didn't the Iron... No, go ahead, Trevor. Sorry.
To me, it just looks like, I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and like fantasy stuff like that, and to me, it just looks like a barbarian being really badass, flinging his weapon around, hitting everything. So,
Yeah.
I think the Iron Sheik, I don't know if he did this in the WWF back in the day, but he used to do that where he just had this giant like barbell and he just swing it around like nothing. I think it's an exercise of some kind, but he was really good at it too. But now Tom like picked up on that.
That's cool. So we got all of Team Filthy standing behind there, and Dane Lamlight's, like looking at them like, oh, Tom, you got your qualifier and you no problem. Chris, you got it handled tonight. And it's like, Kratos, well, you screwed up. But like, where's my qualifying match? I didn't even get one. And I'm like, you know what, man? You're right. You didn't even get one. That's bull.
Lawler made a little jab. He's like, "Yeah, the qualifier was here, not at Daly's place." He said, "If you
Yeah.
go back and watch it, he makes a little jab at that," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he did.
I like that."
Yeah.
You have to be at the dojo, sub jumping ship between AEW and here is what Lawler's telling them. I'm like, yeah, Mr. MLW.
Oh man,
But it made
I love this promo.
Dickinson upset.
It was fun. Chris Dickinson got really upset because of like the Narita comment from Lawler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Oof. I'm
Yeah,
like, Dickinson is not somebody I'd want in my face ever.
That guy's intense.
Yeah, he looks like he could be a fun guy, but yeah, if he gets angry, like, oh no, just get out the way.
Yeah. I'm kind of a little sad that we didn't get a promo from anybody that was in the tournament per se. Like Dickinson had a little moment there technically, but main event wasn't a qualifying match this week, so it made sense.
Yeah.
But opening match, Clark Connors versus TJP. I really enjoyed the story of how they were just trying to. The story here was like back and forth submissions. We had TJP going to the knee bar, and Clark Connors always finding a way to get to that rope. And then we had Clark Connors putting TJP in the Boston Crab, which, according to Kevin Kelly, nobody in New Japan Strong had actually broken out of it yet. And then TJP did.
Yeah.
So Clark Connors, obviously, as a young lion, he's getting to that point where he can't rely on just the young lion moves anymore, is what it feels like to me. So I'm hoping that they're gonna give him like a legit gimmick or like start moving him towards that soon.
Yeah.
Or letting him start using more moves at least, the way that Coughlin and the other one's name is slipping my mind right now.
Carl.
And Carl Fredericks hat. Yeah. Thank you.
Kevin Kelly did say that he's almost in his way out from the way he's progressing, so it's gonna be soon.
Yeah. And then he at some point he's in the knee bar trying his best to crawl to the ropes. He barely holding on, and he just turns around, pushes TJP, rolls him up onto his shoulders, does a quick 1, 2, 3, and TJP doesn't even realize at first that the 1, 2, 3 happened. And he's looking at the ref like, wait, I was pinned? I'm like, I don't get that, man. First, I hate it when wrestlers do that, but my wife has a first-hand account of a time where she counted, and a wrestler looked at her like, why weren't you counting? And everybody else looked at the wrestler like, what are you talking about? She was doing her count quite clearly. It's like, sometimes wrestlers legit don't hear the count, I guess. And I'm like, oh, that actually legitimately happens? Because I've always harped on that kind of spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a weird spot. I know you mentioned that.
I've never been a fan
ago, that you keep saying that it's something you don't like, and I think I agree with you.
Because I remember when Jake Hager and Cody Rhodes did that spot, and Hager looked like an absolute idiot at the end of it. Yeah, in my opinion. And here TJP didn't look as stupid, but I still I'm not a fan of it overall. I'm not. For me, it's like if it happens, it happens. I don't like it being used as a story device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have accidentally won the match because TJP didn't hear it and didn't kick out. That is different for me. But I come from working on the indie scene, not pre-recorded. You can't just take another take. So if the match ends prematurely, oops, we gotta change the booking.
Yeah. I just feel bad for TJP now. It's just every time I see TJP, especially with this happening now, even more so. But every time I see TJP, his face looks like he's just down. I don't know, like depressed or something. Like it's not from TJP from a while back where before he got all his tattoos in the NXT, like it's or 205.
Yeah.
But it was just it doesn't seem like the same TJP anymore. Like when you look at him in interviews, he looks like something's up. Like even though he says he's making money, he doesn't mind it. He's going to everywhere, MLW, New Japan, everywhere else. But he still looks sad or something. I don't know.
To me, that's just like, honestly, that's just the fatigue of like going and going and going and being at this age and still working the grind as hard as he gets, man.
Yeah.
When like that is the grind of the indies a lot of the time. And honestly, in Impact, he seems to be a little bit more loose, seems to be more like he seems to be having more fun. Yeah. But that's a general thing for Impact. I feel like everybody seems to just be having a lot of fun. Like the entire roster just seems to have enjoyed themselves quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, but that's my take on that.
Yeah, or maybe here because I mean, maybe he just got hired as an enhancement talent, so maybe that's why he just seems a little, disappointed.
Yeah. But he's referred to as like as a dojo veteran, right? So I mean, yeah, maybe Blue.
Yeah, no, I think definitely his role seems relegated as enhancement talent. I think Impact is more of his home than anything. I know he's also an MLW and he kind of has his role there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for here maybe that's why you're kind of out of it because you're kind of here to just put over the younger guys. Which I was gonna just kind of go back to this. I freaking loved Clark Connors. I haven't seen much of him. But that golden mane that he has going on, I love that. I don't know.
That fluffy hair I kept talking about.
Yeah, I hadn't seen much of him, and I'm like, this guy, I think that the top young lions are him, Kuglin, and Carl. But I feel like I like how this guy looks the best, just on looks alone, right? I don't know.
Like old Ric Flair hair.
Yeah, he can. He can do, you can basically have him be like an American face going into New Japan, or you can make him be a heel. I don't know how well he's going to be as a heel, but he just looks great. I don't know. I was like, wow, this.
What, Blue? Mm-hmm. He had me at Geki Oji Cloth.
Geki Oji Cloth. That's
He's
how I got.
So good in those commercials.
I really enjoyed this match. Yeah. What's it called? He threw me off with the Geki Ochi Club. No, it's great. It's like, where do I get that?
As long as they don't make that gimmick and like Yano just come out with the.
He's super. God. He's super hyped with
on the ring.
Yeah. He's super hyped during those commercials. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this match. I think it's a good, not really high flying, more like a technical match between the two. Yeah. And I agree. The finish was a little kind of screwy. I think they just want to protect TJP a little bit. We'll see what kind of finisher they come up for Clark. I mean, I like the Boston Crab, but I think you don't want to go to that well too much unless you're Jericho and you just use it all the time.
Yeah, he's kind of the only guy who's allowed to just use it however he wants, as much as he wants. So.
Yeah. Yeah, which I like that, but no, I'm telling you, man, Clark Connors, you could do like this American Lion gimmick kind of deal with that hair.
The American Lion,
I love that. Yeah, there you go. You had the American Dragon, now there's a lion. So I don't know. I see potential. Hopefully New Japan doesn't screw it up with like a kung fu gimmick like Master Wato or something. I have not been liking it. I don't know who makes up their gimmicks, but some of them just have not been hitting with me.
Oh man, you jinxed it. He's gonna become like the American Ninja something.
Oh no, American Ninja! Oh, please don't do that, New Japan. Yeah. American Lion, put that out there.
So the next qualifying match, we get All Heart Blake Christian versus Chris Dickinson. Mm-hmm. So this is hard for me to get into the match because I was just like, well, Blake Christian is not winning this.
Yeah.
Because it bugs me, man, knowing that he signed to WWE like a month ago and he still hasn't done anything in WWE, and that he's just like, there's still appearances of his on tapings that are just going on the indie scenes, and I'm like, God damn it. I can't get invested in any of his matches right now. I really tried for this one too because I like Dickinson, but I couldn't get interested just because I knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, all Blake Christian matches are doing that to me right now.
Yeah. I mean, it started off as a fun match. I mean, Blake Christian is very mobile. I mean, he could do a lot. But after a while, I mean, of course, you knew Dickinson was going to destroy him. So, but you're right. So it wasn't too much to talk about in this match. But what you think about this one, Blue?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of a shame that he signed up with WWE. I feel like Blake would have been a good junior heavyweight kind of with his style. At least that's what I got from him. But I honestly I forgot you said he had already signed with the WWE. So for me, it was a little bit more exciting because that wasn't rolling around in my head. But but yeah, Chris Dickinson, he's great. Here's another guy that just looks like a stud. He's freaking. His style is kind of like the kind of I don't know what to call it, just like smash face kind of technical style.
Canadian hybrid. I'm not even joking. He's one of the most Canadian hybrid style wrestlers I see on TV right now.
Is he Canadian?
No, I don't know who trained Chris Dickinson, but Chris Dickinson wrestles like a Canadian.
Interesting. I'll need to. Yeah. No, yeah, but he's definitely got the look. He's got it down, and I just love Team Filthy all the way. Yeah, and I never gave poor Blake Christensen a shot, but it wasn't so much because he's leaving. It's just because he was up against the Dirty Daddy.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I love the fact that Team Filthy has the Dirty Daddy and the Radioactive Poppy.
Yeah, you got the coolest nicknames in wrestling right now.
Hey, Trevor, going back to the Canadian hybrid, I mean, your listeners probably know, or do they? Have you explained Canadian hybrid before? Like, is it like
okay. So Canadian style wrestling, it's a varied hybrid style of wrestling at its core. Because Canadian wrestlers tend to be very, very snug with their strikes. So we do have our own strong style, and it is actually similar to Japanese strong style wrestling. Our version of catch-as-can wrestling is very similar. Like our more technical stuff and our more submission-based stuff is very similar to British catch. And then when you have like then we brought in from America that more sports entertainment feel and put it all together. I feel like a lot of Canada, like Smash especially, is a great place to experience that kind of hybrid stylization that Canada is known for. There's a few. There is in Quebec City. There's NSPW, North Shore Pro Wrestling. They're really good. In New Brunswick, we have Innovative Hybrid Wrestling, IHW. Most of these can be found on Fight TV or on Twitch and that. So I mean, really shout outs to those guys because these are top hybrid style promotions.
Oh, cool, awesome. I need to look at that. Yeah.
Canadian wrestling is really different, man. I've heard Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin was telling a story. He was down here for a tournament right before he showed up in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
And he told a story about how Tiger Hattori pulled him aside one day and told him that he hits hard. And Elgin was like, "Oh shit, okay, I'll go apologize." Right? Was what he was thinking. And Hattori's like, "You'll do good here. You Canadian boys tend to hit hard. You do good."
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's awesome.
Elgin was just like, "Oh shit, okay." So that's cool.
That's a pretty awesome story.
What other more famous, I guess, quote unquote famous Canadians have used that style?
Oh man, I mean Kenny Omega is an extremely hybrid style wrestler, but he leans more heavily on the Japanese style, of course. Now,
yeah.
I feel like Chris Jericho is probably a great hybrid style wrestler. The way he mixes his strikes, his power, and his technical side all together, plus the promo game.
Yeah. Cool.
And Lance Storm got as well, man. Don't sleep on Lance Storm. That man is a workhorse. Holy crap. There's just personal favorites that I feel like made it big that have that style. Edge has a bit of that more hard hitting style.
Yeah.
And more like That's the thing about the hybrid style is you don't always have 3 or 4 aspects of it. But you'll definitely have 2.
Yeah.
So I really like that. There's a lot of different variety of hybrid style wrestling up here. We even have some lucha.
Uh-huh.
We have our own high flying style that is very heavily inspired by lucha because we get a lot of actual Mexican wrestlers up here to come and wrestle for us for a little while. Like we have somebody living in New Brunswick right now who is from Mexico. His in-ring name is Saya Guerrero.
Yeah.
Great, really great guy, really fun.
Ah, that's cool. Did not know.
It's interesting to see how the melting pot that is wrestling styles in Canada and just anywhere in the world, just to see kind of all that fused together and kind of a style develop out of it. That's kind of the beauty of it.
Yeah, because casual fans just think it's wrestling. It's wrestling. It's just that's it, but it's a lot more deeper than that.
Oh, absolutely. And let's face it, if you're the only legitimate Mexican luchador wrestler in an area, you're going to get more bookings because you're the only one. You know what I mean? It's like the only Canadian in Mexico gets more opportunities and more bookings because he's the only Canadian.
Vampiro.
Exactly. That Vampiro said that. Actually, that was a Vampiro quote.
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah.
But main event of this show, guys,
yeah,
was David Finlay and Carl Fredericks versus Tom Lawler and Danny Limelight. Not the. I was really disappointed to have David Finlay, but not Juice. Like, why do I not have Juice? Where is he? Why do I not have the Impact Tag Team titles? What's going on here? But judging by their gear, this was recorded before they won the belts, or TV recording dates get complicated. So, so it's okay. We'll accept it. I guess I'll accept it. But David Finlay, Carl Fredericks versus Tom Lawler and Danny Limelight, and man, I feel like Limelight really, really, really got to shine again in this match. Like New Japan just lets him shine.
Yeah.
I feel like I watch him on AEW. I've watched him on other promotions, but in New Japan, they let him just do whatever he wants. It really feels like go out there, do something flashy. They'll love it. Like, okay.
Maybe Rocky. He's good friends maybe with Rocky, and Rocky's like, well, just do something, just have fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rocky. He was one of the Rocky's boys that was trained by him at first, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that's what even commentary. I think they mentioned that he was one of Rocky Romero's guys, and then he betrayed them for Team Lawler. But I mean, knowing what we know about wrestling, backstage, Rocky Romero's rooting for everybody. So
yeah.
So, but no, this was a fun Smash Mouth tag team style match. Like Lawler and Finlay is not something I thought I was going to get to see anytime soon. Like anywhere. So it was really cool to see those two go at it. Ultimately, Finlay does pick up the win, I believe.
It was Finlay over Danny.
Yeah.
It was Finlay who got the win. Okay, I knew it was that team. I just didn't remember it was Finlay himself.
See, but 80% of the show was Fredericks and Danny Limelight just settling it out. And if Fredericks, I don't know if you guys saw that. What I noticed is Fredericks, as being a face, he doesn't really like it because once he gets into the heel mode and then he just starts hitting people really hard, that's what's really happening. You see him like like light up, like, oh man, this is what I want to do, be heel. But they don't do that.
You can do that as a face though.
Yeah,
he can do that style and like that hot tag, come in, smash people. Like,
yeah,
you can be that powerhouse baby face and still do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There was a spot that Carl did where I don't know, it was Tom or Danny in the corner, and he does like this cross up knee going sideways. I thought that was super cool. That could be like a setup for a finisher or a finisher. I don't know if you guys remember that. He had like Danny in the corner, and you know how Kenny does the V trigger, he kind of did a V
Yeah.
trigger, but it was a close range one going sideways, like basically.
Oh, where
kneeing
he
him
kind
up.
of throws him into the turnbuckle and then he kind of throws a leg up. Is that what?
Yeah,
It is?
yeah.
Yeah.
It looked really cool. I thought that was a very unique
No,
spot.
that
I
was
didn't think
different.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
it fast. I didn't even know where it came from. I was like, what? I had to rewind it, and I was like, well, how did he do that again?
I thought that looked very cool, and that's
Yeah.
definitely something you should keep doing.
Yeah.
I like the whole Alpha Wolf thing. I think they're kind of doing like a Davy Boy Smith kind of thing with the streamers on his legs. That's fine. It doesn't bug me. I think last time you said Juicy J, that kind of bugged you. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm putting words in your mouth.
No, yeah, I did say that. I don't like it. That's why I mentioned earlier that like he seems happier as a heel because I think his gimmick with his whole face thing is not for him. Like if you turn him into a heel, like a really evil guy, just hitting people and just destroying them without this happy stuff with his in his boots, the streamers, I think it'll be cooler for him. But I don't know. It's just me though. But yeah.
Yeah, no, and also agree with you guys with Danny. I think what makes him shine the best with Team Filthy, he definitely has that. I like to call it like the chicken shit heel, where he talks a lot of big game, and then he can back it up for sure, but
Like the
it's
mid or
just
something.
he's good at just talking and just
Yeah.
just
He's
getting on
the
people's
little
nerves.
pup. That
Yeah,
little dog hangs out with the big dogs and just jumping around them. We're like, yeah, you can kick your ass or you kick your ass. All right, yeah.
yeah,
That's Daniel.
exactly. And he fits perfectly with like his stable because everybody else, Chris, JR,
all massive.
Kratos, yeah, they're massive
They're all
guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just such a perfect fit. Like I said, Team Filthy guy all the way. It sucks to see him kind of end up on his back for this match, but I think if anybody had to get pinned, it was probably Danny.
Yeah. And you sound a little bit like Alex Kozlov, Blue. Like you want to be in Team Filthy. You know how he was saying to Kevin Kelly that he definitely wants to be in.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's definitely.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's a cool stable.
Yeah, I've kind of going on a tangent here with Kozlov's commentary. I can kind of see why he's not your favorite person. There's some times where I feel like he just seems completely lost on some things when on commentary, or he just doesn't know what to say. It might be harder than it looks, honestly.
Yeah, he's like doubling back sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because
constantly doubling back on himself and like changing what he was saying like 2 seconds ago, and I'm like, wait a second, I heard that. Flip flopping on himself.
yeah, he kind of does. He copies me sometimes.
Copies you.
Yeah, like kind of stutters and says something different. Yeah, but he definitely because when he was talking about the whole that he was in different stables or different clubs, different groups, and then he kind of forgot what he was saying, and then Kevin Kelly said, "Oh yeah, well, what did he say?"
Kevin Kelly's like, you're like an honorary member of Bullet Club. You hang out with Chaos, and
Yeah.
and he's like, well, I mean, I'm not really a member of Bullet Club. I'm like, yeah, that's the one you don't want to be associated with.
Yeah, that's funny, but I mean, he'll improve. He'll be okay. Hopefully. Cross my fingers. Yeah.
But New Japan Cup 2021 USA.
Mm-hmm.
First round, second round in actuality, like we said. Clark Connors versus Leo Rush. Brody King versus Chris Dickinson.
Yeah.
Ren Narita versus Tom Lawler. Hikuleo versus Fred Rosser. So, do you guys want to give predictions on who you think will be the final two to face each other?
Go first.
Connors, Rush, King, and Dickinson on one side. Mm-hmm. Narita, Lawler, Hikuleo, and Rosser on the other side.
I'm thinking, now that I saw this, you mentioned it again, I'm thinking Brody King versus Lawler. I guess the two stables leaders, I'm thinking right now.
Yeah. I am inclined to agree with you on that one, actually. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, because Hikuleo and Fred Rosser, I mean, their feud, I mean, they're just going to end the feud now, I guess.
Yep.
which I don't know why they did that for some reason. But yeah, so that's gonna be probably a really good match. But then Tom Lawler's probably gonna, of course, defeat whoever wins. Narita is gonna the same thing with the Hikala and Fred Rosser match is gonna be a great match with Tom Lawler. But I mean, Lawler's gonna go to the end, and man, I mean, you could say the same thing on the other side. Like it's they're squashing all these cool matches like right off the bat, and then just leaving the leaders at the end. But do you agree or disagree, Blue?
I'm not sure about. I think Lawler might be able to make it to the end. Just kind of how the tournament's set up for him, where he can squeeze by the first one fairly easily, and then probably Rosser or Leo might be give him more trouble. But I think on his side of the bracket, it seems like it's him all the way. It's tougher to call with Leo and Clark Connors on the. I'm actually excited for that match. That should be a very good match between Leo Rush and Clark Connors on the other end. I feel it. I mean, I don't know if Brody is a heel per se. I feel going heel in the final seems odd. So it's like maybe I don't know. Maybe Clark Connors will upset it, but
you have to take into consideration who the champion is.
Oh yeah, with Leo.
The winner is going to face Moxley, right? So I mean, taking into consideration the winner is facing Moxley, I think like Brody King and Tom Lawler makes more sense because of that.
Yeah,
King either one of those guys could realistically go up against Moxley for a title run, and I can't tell which one of the two it could be.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, because everybody else just seems like they wouldn't be a good matchup against Moxley, and so like Lawler would be great against Moxley. I would love to see those two guys work together. Same thing with Brody.
Another option could be like Rosser. I mean, he could be a good match against Moxley too. So Fred Rosser versus Brody at the end would be cool.
That's
another option. Yeah, I think it's between those three.
I'll be honest. I'd love to see Chris Dickinson and Narita in the finals, because that means Narita would beat Lawler by some miracle.
Yeah,
and then like Dickinson can just rub that in Lawler's face. And I'd love to see that rematch, but they're not going to do it because that's not the right story. Don't do it. I mean, pandering to me personally.
I mean, we gotta take it is New Japan, and they ultimately want to put their young lions over. So it's
that's true.
To have Narita win the whole thing would be amazing. But again, I don't know what's gonna come out of it. Who was the young lion that kept hanging out with John back? It was Shota Umino. What happened to that guy?
Isn't he in England?
Is he? Shooter? He used to call him Shooter. I don't.
Yeah.
Man, I do not keep up with Mexico, and I do not keep up with the UK.
I have to. Yeah. Now I kind of want to look up what happened to him and when he's coming back, because him and Ren were kind of their generation of young lions. So.
Yeah, I think England, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah.
But. We'll see. We'll see if they can get the belt off Moxley, or if he's just gonna hold that belt forever.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It almost feels like it.
Yeah, they really need somebody to knock him off of it. So
yeah,
interesting.
But Jay, do you want to take us over to New Japan proper, Sakura Genesis? What's been going on?
Definitely something we need to talk about. I don't know if you want to start talking about this right off the bat, but the new title.
Yeah, you can start with it. It's the big talking point, right?
Yeah. So we have finally presented the World Heavyweight Championship, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Has revealed.
We got to do it justice.
Okay.
International Wrestling Grand Prix World Heavyweight Championship. There you go.
That's better. I need a clap sound effect there. Yeah, definitely. It's. I like it. Guys. I know at first glance I saw it, and it was a little weird. But then they zoomed in, and I was like, "Oh man, this stuff has a lot." And then Kevin Kelly was kind of explaining what everything meant, because I think every inch of this title means something, has a meaning behind it. And yeah, so when they zoomed in, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Then they zoomed out again, and then I saw when they're trying to make this like this, so they can make it into. Sell it on Global Shop instead of like a mask, like a COVID mask because it
Oh,
definitely
shit,
has
you're
that shape.
Oh,
So
you're totally right.
yeah,
Oh no.
I saw that. So, so at the end, I liked it because I don't know. It just took a while, but I think I liked it. Did you guys like it or dislike it or kind of
Um,
what's
I think so.
undecided or
So we have a chat, and Trevor shared the belt, or no, I think I found it on Instagram right before you were gonna share it,
yes,
and
yeah.
and I think you were very excited because you saw the reveal, and then you probably got to see the whole pomp and circumstance. And to me, my initial reaction just to seeing the design of the belt, not even like the details, was like, this reminds me of the Divas Championship from like 2010, which is like the butterfly design.
yeah,
Which I mean, I'm just hating on that, but I do love, like, when you look at the detail, it's got like these jewels, and it's got the lion logo from New Japan. That looks freaking badass on it.
yeah,
Um, so I'm mixed about it. I'm like, it's just the old belt was so cool to begin with and already prestigious. It's kind of like a mixed feelings with that. But what about you, Trevor?
Okay, so yeah.
oh,
I'm
here
gonna
we go. Here we go.
so my time zone, I get to watch. I can watch New Japan live just because of what time I get up to put the kids on the bus and whatnot.
yeah,
And yeah, I got back from putting the kids on the bus just in time to watch Ibushi relinquish both titles and them revealing this one. And I think that definitely did affect it for me. Because I saw the emotion on Ibushi's face, and I think seeing Ibushi being taken aback from the belt, I feel like he didn't know what it looked like before this moment.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, just because his genuine reaction to it, like he was taken aback, and he seems to love it
yeah,
right away, and I think that just helped me like it, just seeing how much he loved the belt. But overall, even then, I really like it. I find it very bold and different. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Impact tag belts because they're like these weird, like, Japanese coin belts, basically.
yeah.
Like, I like different designs like that. And when it comes to the Divas butterfly belt thing, I will say, if you take the butterfly itself off of that belt and you just look at the silhouette of the plate, it's a gorgeous silhouette. It had potential. They just botched it by putting an actual butterfly on it.
And making it like purple, yeah.
Yeah. Like, giving it a reference to a butterfly would have been fine. It's better than their tag belts, at least. They're like the current WWE tag belts are just two X chromosomes standing next to each other. It's really stupid. But compared to that stuff, this is gorgeous. Come on.
I like because they were finding
the
stuff in the old belts. Because they showed the images of the old, like 2 or 3 generations ago, time, that which it was kind of like a crown. So they were combining everything, and it made sense. And so it looked cool. And definitely, if you want lighter people winning it, of course, this makes sense to have it a smaller title.
Slightly smaller, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the wings for me that I know that a lot of people just have a hard time accepting the wings, but I'm like, dude, you can accept a giant goddamn eagle on your belts that looks like an old school tattoo from the 50s.
Yeah.
Why can you not accept these?
Still looks better in the Universal title, I'll tell you what. That color-coded make a belt. What was I gonna say? I will miss the kind of the Stanley Cup-ish version of the belt where every previous champion had their name on it. But I know eventually that was gonna get way too much like the Stanley Cup. That's like 15 layers on that thing. It's gonna get too big for its own good. So I understand why they had to do that. So.
They still have the video montage to honor all the champions that came before if they want. Like they can keep that aspect.
That is true.
So that's cool. I'm excited to see what the title defense. I'm excited to see what the legacy of this belt is going to entail, I guess.
No, it's gonna be good. And now that you mentioned that, let's go ahead and skip to April the 4th, which is where we're going to have this the first defense of this title. Before we talk about that, we also have another defense of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship of Sho and Yo versus Kanemaru and Desperado for the competition of Sakura Genesis 2021. Yeah, so that's gonna be cool. I would definitely was excited to have Yo back. I haven't seen him in a while. Not my favorite of the of this tag team of Sho and Yo. I mean, definitely Sho is my favorite, but Yo, it's cool to have him back. We haven't seen him in a long time, and I think it's gonna be a cool match against Desperado and Kanemaru, and especially with Desperado on that high I kept talking about. That Desperado is in a winning streak, so it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, I have like a theory for this match because I do miss Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, and definitely the junior heavyweight tag team scene has been lacking recently. There's not. It's like Kanemaru, Desperado, and then like whoever, like some mixture of like Lij and yeah. There's not a lot of I don't know why there's just like a lot of missing tag teams on that division. I feel like they can't really dedicate a roster for that division. They just get like, hey, you guys are juniors. We're gonna tag you up, Master Wato and Ryusuke, and we're gonna get you're a tag team now. It kind of feels like the 6-man tag league, but so my theory is Desperado and Kanemaru are gonna win this, and maybe Sho and Yo are gonna break up, which would further screw up the division, because right now they're a breath of fresh air for the division, because Yo's been injured for so long. But if you break them up, that's a good setup for the best of the Super Juniors coming up. I don't know. I just have like a premonition.
I agree with you. It really is a good setup for the best of Super Juniors. Yeah. And you're not the only person. I've heard this theory going around quite a bit. That, like, because, like, let's face it, Sho's been doing really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, why go back to a tag team when he started doing really good singles career?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about it overall, I'll admit.
Yeah. And the way they're presenting both of them, they're kind of doing different gear colors too, if that makes sense. Like they're presenting as singles people now, so not really tag team anymore. And Sho, I think it's way better as a singles, like you just said. So see what happens with that. The other things that's been happening that you wanted to discuss, Trevor, was definitely this X from United Empire.
Yes.
So,
I mean,
who do you think this is, or what's going to happen here with Lij versus Jeff Cobb, Great O'Khan, and this X person on April 4th?
So, I think it could be somebody from Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
And the main reason why I think that is because we've actually had, over on Impact, we've had reports of somebody supposed to be going over to Japan.
Yeah.
We don't know who, but a single star is supposed to go over to Japan. I'm really intrigued. I'm not sure who it would be. I feel like this is a crucial... It's such a small faction, and it's so new that every member is extremely crucial right now. Every pick they do, everything they do is really, really, really crucial. So I'm not really sure who I would take from the current Impact roster because I feel like a lot of them are just already involved in storylines. But if I ignore storylines and just pick whoever the hell I want to pick to throw into it from Impact, I'm going to go with Josh Alexander.
Yeah.
And my main...
No, go ahead.
Well, my main reasoning for it is because Will Ospreay referred to the mystery partner as their secret weapon, right?
Yeah.
And Josh Alexander is the walking weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense to me.
No, like as soon as you were thinking about it, I was thinking the exact. I was like, who in the Impact roster right now has nothing to do? I was like, well, he just lost his tag team partner of the North, because he's part of the North, right? I'm getting that right.
Yeah, he was.
So it's like he kind of has nothing. He's got nothing going on, so maybe he can bring him over, make him part of the tag team. He has so I was just thinking, I was like, I think it's Josh. So we'll see. We'll see. He's X. We'll see. This is an interesting match because like LIJ is bringing in, like, if they had Bushi in the match, I'm like, oh, United Empire's going over. Poor Bushi's gonna take the pin, but it's Takagi's not gonna take a pin. I don't know if Naito's gonna take the pin or Sonata. It's everybody's kind of red hot from, well, maybe not Naito, but Sonata and Takagi, I feel, shouldn't take a pin. So it's like, I wonder how this is gonna work. I feel like United Empire is gonna win just because, just rule of thumb that they have a mystery partner, but I don't know. This is becoming a more interesting match the more we talk about it.
Who do you think it is, Jay?
No, I was scratching my head here. I'm like, I don't know who's gonna be.
Because I have one other person I think it could be, but it also feels unlikely for that person. But I want to hear who you think first.
No, I'm thinking of who else it might be, and I don't have any inkling of any. And I'm trying to stay away from the dirt sheets, so I definitely more surprised. So that's why I can't tell you anybody right now off the top of my head. But who are you thinking?
My other person would be Andrade.
Yeah.
La Sombra,
be
because like how
yeah.
I mean, how much of an impact would that make?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the only other person, and again, it's a country that's not being represented in them right in that faction yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Dude.
that's important. That's totally a part of their gimmick. So I don't see them having another American because they have Cobb.
Uh-huh.
So I don't see. That's why I think Josh Alexander, he's Canadian. That's why I think Andrade is Mexican.
I
You know what I mean? Like,
I like what you're doing. Yeah.
yeah.
You're like looking all over the map. Which country could it be?
Which countries have good wrestlers that are not currently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hence makes it a united empire. Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I really like that idea.
Yeah.
I really like that idea. I hope, not, and just kind of the feud that would set up between himself and Naito. I'm like, book it. I want to see that. I'd rather much have him come back with that kind of impact than just by like, hey guys, remember me? I was in Los Ingobernables too. Like, and still be a member of LIJ. It's like, have him be, sell his soul.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
he already did once. He can do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one last thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch most of the Road to Sakura Genesis, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Finjuice have not defended their Impact Tag titles, right?
Right.
Yeah, they have.
They are not defending the Impact Tag titles at Sakura Genesis, right?
Right.
That is bullshit. No. They aired a vignette on Impact this week of them doing a bunch of cool moves, right? And it was just random spots from the New Japan Cup, from a bunch of random matches that they were in the New Japan Cup. And I'm like, first of all, that's from the Jay White match between Finlay and that was a singles match, so F off. Like, it bugs me because they're over on Impact claiming that they're defending these titles and doing all this stuff and showing these vignettes, and I'm like, can we have somebody call them out that it's all bullshit, please? Because like they're not doing anything. I'm watching New Japan and Impact. Guess what, guys? Like, if you want people to watch both products, then you're dropping the ball.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it right now. I'm like, it upsets me because I'm like, the forbidden door is finally being opened, and you're ignoring it.
I felt like this happened like 10 years ago when they were having guys like No Limit, which was Naito and Takahashi, come over to Impact, and they were just jobbing out to everybody, and these guys were tag champs. They were at least the junior tag champs in New Japan, and I think Kurt Angle was the heavyweight champion at the time, the IWGP champ. And it's like, oh, that's cool that they're bringing this stuff over, but then they're coming here and they're not really doing anything with them. So hopefully it's like they realize what they're working with and take better advantage of that. You think they would, but somehow I don't know if it's politics or what it is that they're like, oh, we don't want these guys to lose over here. Or, I don't know. It's odd.
They need a tag match. That's all I gotta say. They need a title match, at least one before Rebellion happens.
Uh-huh.
And which is like April 24th, I believe. Like just one, guys, just one, please. Mostly because I want to see God beat them for the titles, and then God show up and beat the hell out of the Good Brothers. That'd be great.
That'd be good.
I'd get eyes on Impact.
Yeah. We need to get you on creative for Impact and New Japan.
You're like the third of my co-hosts that have now told me I need to get on creative for Impact. I mean, make it happen, somebody, please. I'll gladly take a job at Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can dial up Scott Demore, right? He's one of the bookers there.
Yeah, sure.
Do it.
Canadian, we all know each other. It's easy.
You just use your Canadian mental link,
There you go.
That's how it works.
Good. You need your own podcast, Trevor Booking Hour.
Yeah, I need to start expanding it. I know. I need to start expanding.
Speaking of booking, sorry to cut you off. I was going to ask you how you would book Ibushi versus Ospreay. What do you
How
think?
would I book Ibushi versus Ospreay?
What do you think is going to happen?
I give it to Ospreay, but in the dirtiest way possible. Like, as much shenanigans and bullshit as you can pull off for Ospreay to win that match, because Ibushi cannot look weak at all. Ibushi has to look like he's still the legitimate champion when he walks out of this match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I would try and do it.
So you just make Ospreay everyone hate him?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm good at that, so that's what I book well. Hate. I'm like, oh, okay. But speaking of other podcast platforms, I caught the first episode of Tiger Driver. You guys are back on there, so plug away, man.
Oh, cool! Thanks for listening, man. I appreciate it. You can find on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Tiger Driver Radio. Twitter, Tiger Driver Rad1. That's RAD1. Or you could hit us up on tigerdriverradio@gmail.com. And we're gonna have right now we're just having our podcast again every week. Hopefully you could join us. We're just doing different something a little bit different from before. We're just having a variety show plus wrestling. So we're definitely having fun with that. So check us out.
Yeah, sounds great, man. I might be able to join you guys this weekend. Get in touch with me about it.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, I might be able to get on for a little bit this weekend. So, but everybody, please check out Tiger Driver Radio. All their stuff's in the description down below. Leave a comment about who you want to see, what you want to see out of the legacy, what you thought of the belt, who you think is going to win the New Japan Cup 2021 USA. Go all out, like, share, subscribe, because we finally hit the 50 subscribers. Very awesome, very happy.
Yeah.
But everything helps, guys, so thank you very much, and have a good one.